Odessa. I'm a mystic intuitive healer. I'm a psychic medium, Reiki master, spiritual coach, and an intuitive tarot card reader. And through the work I'm doing here on YouTube, as well as Instagram, TikTok, and my own website, odessamal.com, I deliver messages to you that will help you to awaken, heal, align, and grow. So today is a really special collaboration with the incredible Mistress of Divination. If you've never seen her work before, I know you're just gonna love her. She's really insightful. Her readings are amazing. She has great energy and she's a really sweet person. So definitely go and check out her reading after you watch your pile in this first half. So I'm going to be looking into what you are teaching others, but also what you're teaching yourself in the process. And Mistress of Divination is going to be looking into what you are learning from others, but also what you're learning from yourself. So I have 3 piles for you guys to select from today. Pile number 1 is partnered with this ombre pigeon feather. So the pigeon is a dove, and doves are a symbol of unconditional love, and birds are a symbol of seeing things from a higher perspective. And then pile number 2 is partnered with this little blue candle. Now the color blue is associated with the throat chakra, so that's linked with our communication, our expression, and candles are used for manifestation. The fire is a symbol of our drive. So pile number 3 is partnered with this little acorn and oak leaf charm. So the oak tree is a symbol of wisdom, it's a symbol of stability, and then the acorn is a symbol of knowledge. So I'm going to give you guys a close-up of the cards in these items in just a moment, and I will see you at your pile. Number 1, welcome! So you picked the pigeon or the dove feather, and in case you missed the intro, this is a collaboration with Mistress of Divination. I'm going to be looking into what you're teaching others, but also what you're teaching yourself, and then Mistress of Divination is looking into what you're learning from others, but also what you're learning from yourself. So this first pile of cards is going to tell me what you are teaching others, and then I'll dive into the other decks that I have to find out what you're teaching yourself. So let's see what you've got. Okay, first card you've got is birth, followed by intuition, then leap. You go first. The universe will catch you. Then daffodil, beginnings and rebirth. Chimpanzee, use both your intuition and your intellect to solve the problem or get answers to your question. Then feathers, message, 2 of cups, and meditation. Take a moment to connect to source through quiet reflection and meditation. Wow, okay, so pile number 1. First of all, one of the things that you are helping others to learn, because you're teaching this to them, is how to take a leap of faith. How to start something new and go in a new direction when maybe you don't have all of the answers, right? The leap card is talking about that. I think you have very strong intuition. There's a really good chance that many of you have actual psychic abilities that you're using on a daily basis. Like you may be professionally working in the metaphysical and you're helping people in some capacity by using your gifts. But you may also be taking a risk in other areas of your life. It might be that you're an entrepreneur and you took a risk on starting your business, or you went back to school later on in life and pivoted and changed careers, or you decided to start investing time and energy into a hobby that you love. But you've definitely started to do something that took a lot of courage and a lot of faith is what's coming forward. You really had to believe in not only yourself, but also believe that the guidance you were getting was leading you towards something that would be fruitful powerful because you got the birth card and the rebirth card. So you were definitely trying to bring something new into your life, into the world. I think that you have created a lot of stability in your life, despite the fact that I think that there's been times when you've been on shaky ground. Both of these cards are number 4, which traditionally is talking about a solid foundation and stability, especially in tarot. I think that you have also come to a place of peace where you are able to quiet your own mind. The meditation card really tells me that you have been able to overcome the self-doubt. You would have to a certain degree, to be able to take this leap of faith and move towards your passions or your dreams or a new endeavor, or, you know, like making this major shift and change. You would have had to found ways of quieting the doubt, or quieting or dismissing even the judgments of others, right? And you may also have like a meditative practice, right? This might be something that you're literally teaching. You're teaching meditation, you're teaching intuition classes, you're teaching yoga, you're teaching people, maybe you're a doula or a midwife, and you're literally teaching women how to birth their children. There's a lot of different ways that you could be applying this, actually. You are helping people to solve problems, though, because that's what the chimpanzee card is talking about. And you have found not only the balance between, you know, your willingness to move towards the magic and your, you know, fear. You've been able to like overcome that, but you also have an ability to use your intuition, which often is like, it's a gut instinct. It's, you know, your sixth sense is communicating with you, but also your intellect. So you get a download, or, you know, you get some guidance through your intuition. You look at it and you dissect it and you make a decision using your logical mind. You're open. You're not immediately going to shut it down because you don't have like necessarily all of the evidence to back up, you know, the guidance that you're being given. You're open-minded about what can come through to you through your sixth sense. But you're not going to just go forward with like everything that's presented to you. You take your time with things. You're discerning about the messages that come forward. Knowing, I think, that for many of you, that sometimes, I keep hearing wolf in sheep's clothing, that sometimes we can get guidance that is not helpful to us for various reasons. I mean, spiritually speaking, if it's psychic information you're getting, you may be talking to your guides, you may be getting guidance from someone's past loved one or some sort of earthbound spirit. Typically, people refer to them as ghosts. I mean, they oftentimes, I mean, especially if you're a medium, spirit energies will be communicating with you at all times. You have to just like kind of lean into the gift, but you also have to be mindful that maybe the individual that's communicating with you really doesn't, you know, that much, right? Because if they're earthbound, they haven't transcended. They're not in tune with all of the knowledge they would have if they had already crossed over, because they're not embodying like the knowledge of their higher self. They're still sort of limited to what they knew when they were alive. And so they may have the best of intentions, but it's kind of like, you know, your well-meaning neighbor. They may have no skills at all, but they want to help. So you have to be mindful of whether you want to take on that advice or not. But if it has nothing to do with spirituality, this could also be literally you're discerning with, you know, the people that are offering you support or guidance. You are open to new ideas and new experiences, but you're not immediately going to, you know, give over access to your life, right? You're aware that, again, wolf in sheep's clothing, that there are con artists, that there are people that don't have your best interests at heart. It's an unfortunate reality. And so when somebody presents you with like an opportunity, you will go through and do your due diligence and, make sure that it's the right leap forward for you. You're not going to immediately just hand over, your life savings to someone. And, but you're still open to what they could be bringing forward. There's definitely something about collaborations and partnerships that you really are skilled at teaching people. So maybe you are really skilled at working with other people, or you have an amazing relationship. This could be romantic. This could be with your, you and your best friend. You have had a friendship that has lasted the test of time, and you've really been able to prioritize that relationship, and you're sort of a role model to other people, showing them what it means to have strong adult friendships that are not connected to your love partnerships, right? Independent relationships. This could also be great relationships with your spouse and your couple goals, or with your children. Once again, and going back to spirit, it could also be talking about you really highlighting and showing people how they can connect with their own spirit guides or their ancestors. This could also be talking about the relationship that you have with yourself, right? So I was talking before about how you might be taking the steps that you need to quiet the negative thoughts inside your own mind, so you can take that leap of faith and move forward. And you've been able to balance out the skills that you have within yourself as well. So your divine masculine and your divine feminine, you honor both sides of yourself. So when you are feeling more emotional and you have your divine feminine coming forward, and you are feeling more in tune with that intuitive, empathetic, nurturing side of yourself, you embrace that. And when you are feeling more in tune with your divine masculine, which is typically associated with being very determined, maybe even headstrong at times, being very action oriented, just moving, can also be a lot of logic, whereas the divine feminine is more the intuition. You embrace that aspect of yourself as well, and you move towards that. And I think that you deliver a lot of messages to people that are very insightful, things that really stick with them, and you might not even realize that you're doing it. Maybe it's channeled messages, right? You might be doing this kind of work and you say something and you don't necessarily realize how much it's going to resonate with the person that you're reading for. But this could be happening to you at all times. You just know what to say to people to give them hope is the energy that I'm getting. To give them hope and inspire them and make them realize that they can build their own solid foundation, that they're strong and they're capable, and they can look at their own shadow and they don't need to be afraid of that, and they can embrace it. And then they don't need to be afraid of their own sun energy either. Sometimes people can feel very fearful of stepping out into the spotlight for various reasons. Maybe they've had bad experiences in the past where people have tried to sort of make them feel insecure. And you help them to transition out of that energy so they can really allow themselves to shine. I definitely get this sense that you have a really creative way of thinking about life. So maybe you're very experimental with the way that you present yourself, the way you dress, and you will you dress for your own pleasure and not for the approval of others. And that's really inspiring to others. And when I say dress, I'm talking about not just your clothing, but your hair, your makeup, you know, everything that you do on your physical body to express yourself. It could be tattoos, it could be piercings, it could be a lot of different things. But I think that there's been a transition for you as well, though, like where you may have not always embraced that aspect of yourself. You know, there might have been a time when you hid your freckles under foundation, or, you know, you didn't like your natural gray and you dyed it and dyed it and dyed it, and then finally you just embraced it and you're like just rocking it, and that's an inspiration to others. I definitely get this sense of being colorful. So that might also be an aspect of your personality where you're teaching others that it's okay to be different or loud or maybe even a little divisive, right? You may have a tendency to share unpopular opinions, or, you know, be willing to go there and talk about something, or, you know, tell a joke or something that might, you know, push people's buttons, but it gets them talking. And that's really inspiring to others. You're teaching other people to trust themselves and understand that, you know, not everyone is going to like you, and that's okay. And you're just going to take that leap of faith anyways, because if it's burning inside you, if your intuition is saying, you know, write that book or start that social media account, or, you know, like wear that outfit or take up that hobby, even if it's not something that you were used to, or it's not traditional to the way people see you, you are helping them to break through to break through the barriers. Maybe they're real physical barriers. There could very well be like literal physical barriers that you're breaking through, where you're the first person to do something, and you've had to fight really hard to get there, and you're making it easier for other people, right? I really get that from this dragon breaking out of this shell. But it might also be, you know, the barriers that we have in our own mind, where you are helping people to be kinder to themselves is what's coming forward. That is so beautiful. You are having a major impact on other people. I love this energy. So now I would like to know what you are teaching yourself through this process. So let's get some cards. What is pile number 1 teaching themselves as they go through this process of teaching others? What is pile number 1? Okay. What is pile number 1 teaching themselves? Ooh, okay. As they go through this process of teaching others. Whoa. Okay, 1 second. Okay, so first card that you got is true love. So you are definitely embracing who you are. You are really spending a lot of time learning how to love yourself. And I think that you learned how to, or you're learning how to truly, unconditionally love yourself. All of the things that make you unique and different and beautiful, and you aren't holding yourself to the same bar that you may have compared yourself against in the past. And as you do that, I think you're also learning how to truly unconditionally love others. There might be things that in the past really bothered you about people, pet peeves, or it could have been specifics of dynamics that you are participating in, like different things that, you know, you wish were different about your romantic relationship or your relationship with family. But you're easing up on that. As you ease up on yourself, you realize, oh, wait a minute, like maybe people aren't seeing me the same way I thought they were, you know? And if they aren't judging me for the changes I'm making, you know, maybe I can ease up on the, you know, the expectations I have of them as well. You know, maybe I've been holding all of us up to this standard that I didn't need to. And I can just let everyone just sort of like breathe a little bit. Or maybe you are realizing that there's certain things that just aren't as important to you anymore, right? Things that used to be important just aren't important anymore. You've refocused on the love. Then you got the Sea of Mintonka, seeing potential, bringing unconsciousness to light. Yes, you are seeing your own potential. I think that not only are you seeing, your actual gifts and talents, right? Like, I think that that's where this started. You started to want to live an authentic life. But now I think you're also starting to learn that you are having such an impact on other people, and maybe you are much more important and skilled and versatile is what's coming forward than you thought you were. And I think that you're also learning that you have a lot more empathy and compassion than you initially thought. You may be someone who is sort of like loud and opinionated, and there may have been people in the past that didn't respond well to that because it was painful or triggering for them. So they would point out that they didn't like that aspect of you, right? Being critical of you. You took that on. You thought, oh, well, I'm just maybe not nurturing enough, or I'm not empathetic or compassionate, or whatever, however you interpreted sort of this watery divine feminine energy. But I think you're realizing it wasn't necessarily that you weren't empathetic and compassionate all this time, or you weren't intuitive. I mean, this could be you doubting your own gifts. It wasn't that you didn't have those gifts. It's that you didn't see that within yourself, and now you are, which is so beautiful. Forge, don't follow, pave a new path, be the leader you wish you had. You are realizing that if someone else isn't going to take the first step, you might have to be that leader that guides others forward. And it's intimidating, right? It's intimidating, but you're inspiring other people to do that as well, whether that's just in their own life, or whether that is some other passion that they have in it. It's, you don't even see how you're affecting other people, right? Because you're in one area, you're working on your passions, and that's part of, one particular sort of like area of life. Your skills, your passions, your hobbies, it's under that umbrella. And then somebody sees you, and maybe they're not interested in any of the same things as you. They take that core lesson of, leap in the universe will catch you. Be the first one. Just have courage and just take a leap of faith. And they apply it to some totally other area of life. And it then has this domino effect. I love that so much. It really does take courage. And, there's more and more people doing it every day. And it's so inspiring to me to see that energy, because I feel like I definitely feel like you have healer energy, and many of you are deeply intuitive, and you might consider yourself light workers, right? You're trying to seed the light. You're trying to bring more positivity, more diversity, more openness, more collective, collaboration. And we need that. And we are just at the beginning stages of that. So it's really scary and it's really intimidating, because there's a lot of shifts and changes. And I'm just so proud of you that you are taking these steps. Now, you might not be at the stage where you've learned the lessons I'm talking about. So you have something to look forward to. By taking this leap of faith that you're going to be teaching others, it will bring you to a place of really like strong, self-expression is what just came forward, but strong love for self. Okay, then you got children of the cosmos. The intelligence of the universe lies within you. You are definitely very intuitive, psychically connected people, because this is talking to me about Akashic records, you being part of the collective consciousness, literally being able to tap into spirit at any point in time and get a download. And this might be something that's slowly going to be developing for you more and more and more as you sort of like walk through these different stages of development and you have this impact on others, you will be granted more gifts is what's coming forward. You might start to reconnect with your inner child too, that, you know, brings up some of that wonder and that excitement. And our inner child, truly, like when we're children, we are the most connected with spirit, and we move away from that and then we move back towards that as we get older. If you look at your grandparents, most of them do get to a stage where they're, you know, they don't give an F. They're going to wear whatever they want or eat whatever they want. And they, you know, they might say things that are, you know, could be edited. They're not editing themselves any longer. Some people have Alzheimer's or dementia, and that also has an impact on them, and they are becoming more childlike. But while they are becoming more in tune with their inner child, they are also becoming more connected with spirit. Now you're going to be finding that balance where you are connected with spirit like you were as a child, but you also have all of your logic skills, right? You're not going to miss that, which is missing when we are a child and is sometimes missing when we are in like our later stages of life, depending on what our health is like. Then you had deep cellular healing, Arcturus energy, physical and emotional healing. So this again, to me, feels like it's talking about that balance. So there may have been some things about your physical body that you were really struggling with throughout your life that you're going to heal, because possibly, I mean, these are things like anxiety, headaches, like migraines, things like that, back pain, all of that can sort of be connected to our pain or trauma. But this could also be talking about, I mean, honestly, that is kind of what I'm getting from this card, that you're going to be healing some of the emotional pain and it will have an effect on your physical body. And it could be vice versa, right? You could be healing your physical body and that has this profound effect on your emotional body, right? So that is really, really powerful. So now I want to get a couple of final cards just for some guidance from your guides on like if they have any advice for you on how you can step into your role as teacher, whether it's to others or yourself, faster or more deeply. What is the advice that they have for you? Okay. Let's see. Oh, this is beautiful. So the first card that came out is the Ten of Swords. So you've definitely gone through a lot of pain in your life at different stages of your life is what I'm getting. You might be in a painful stage right now, but I think that even though you have experienced pain, you are starting to get to a point where you recognize that it isn't forever and the sun eventually does rise and you move out of this energy. This might be a situation where you've had painful endings, like there's been some sort of tower moment, health crisis, it could be mental health being affected, but honestly, from this card, and my eye is going back to the Two of Cups, it might be a situation where you start to embrace this energy a little bit. I mean, being in pain is never, ever a comfortable place to be, but we can learn things from it, and that can be a hard pill to swallow, to be perfectly honest, and it really depends on what the pain is and where it's coming from. But there are situations, I know in my own life, there isn't a moment in my life that I can't look back on and find at least one thing that was positive about it. Sometimes I really have to work to find that one thing, but I've successfully been able to find at least one thing for every terrible thing that's happened to me that was a positive. Maybe it was the catalyst to take me in another direction. Maybe it was the thing that helped me to rebirth myself, right? So Ten of Swords is talking about the pain, but the rest of these cards are all talking about you releasing baggage, allowing yourself to forgive the past, let go of the things that didn't work out for you. Don't punish yourself for the expectations that maybe you held yourself to, but you weren't able to achieve those things. Those things don't matter. What matters is that you're happy. That's what matters. What matters is that you are able to give unconditional love to yourself and others, like the Queen of Cups. What matters is that you're able to tap into your intuition and really know what your heart is telling you and what direction it's telling you to go in. What matters is that you're able to use your logic to give yourself a brand new beginning. You take the intuitive insight and you channel that through what is physically happening in your life, what your capabilities are at this moment, what is the best approach for you in terms of like what the physical world is offering to you at this point in time. That's what matters. Finding that balance so that you have work-life balance, so you have great partnerships with other people, so you're able to collaborate and it's a healthy balance for you and the other people, so that you can then bring yourself to a place of enlightenment where you're able to see things from a higher perspective, and you're able to also really reach for your goals, and you're ultimately embracing all of the happiness that you could potentially have in your life. That is what's going to be the inspiration to others. You go through this phase, and honestly, typically I say that you're going to go through and teach this to yourself first, but in your case, I feel like you're teaching this to others and it's going to rub off on you. It's like you're doing something, you're guiding people in some way. Maybe it's just your role in your community, maybe it's your career, but it's through the working with other people or interacting with people or loving other people that all of a sudden you start to have those epiphanies and those insights into how you can treat yourself, right? This is very, very beautiful. I really, really love this message for you guys. I hope you enjoyed this. I would love to know what your thoughts were on this. Let me know in the comments if you could like this reading. That would be amazing. Maybe you want to share it. Don't forget about Mistress of Divination, her half, about what you are learning from others. That would be really interesting to see how the two readings sort of blend together. And if any of you guys are interested in working with me one-on-one, you can go to my website, odessamal.com. All of my services and booking information are available there. I do tarot card readings, spiritual coaching, Reiki, past life readings, and I can channel messages from your spirit guides. And if you haven't already subscribed to the channel, please do. I love to see you guys popping up in our little family, growing more and more and more every day. It's such a blessing. So have a wonderful day, and I hope I see you in the next reading. Take care. Hi, file number 2, welcome back. So you picked the blue candle, and in case you missed the intro, this is a special collaboration with the Mistress of Divination. I'm going to be looking into what you are teaching others as well as teaching yourself. She's going to be looking into what you are learning from others as well as yourself. So definitely check out her half of the reading as well once you're done here. So these are the cards that are going to tell me about what impact you're having on others, how you're teaching them, and then I'll pull out more cards to figure out what you're teaching yourself. So to start off with, you got deep replenishment, retreat, rest, be held, followed by resistance, and there's the number 2 on that card. Then generosity with the number 5, time, banish nightmares, mental health, followed by boar, face your problems head on with confidence, courage, and you will emerge victorious. Crystal ball, clarity, 9 of cups, and then gratitude. Universal love shines through the miracles of life all around you. Beautiful. Okay, so to start off with, It's very clear that you are helping people to overcome the problems of their life, right? You got the Boar card, which was talking about overcoming those obstacles with confidence and courage and becoming victorious. And the problems that you're helping them with, I think, are a combination of different things. I think that you're helping them possibly with their mental health. You might work in the mental health field, or you may just be that friend that all of your friends come to when they're going through a really hard time. You give great advice. Maybe you're that for, your siblings or your children, but you definitely help people with their mental health. And you're also helping them to banish nightmares. So this might be a situation where you're really helping them to see the silver lining in terms of the bad things that have happened in their lives, or you're helping them to build up their confidence again after something negative has happened, or maybe you're quite literally helping them in the physical world move past things that were painful. Like you're helping a friend move, you're helping them with their, updating their resume, or you're bringing food over to a friend after they've had an accident. You are very actively, that's the energy I get, that you are very proactive about how you help people. You are, meeting the problems head on. But what's so beautiful about this is that you help people to find courage, but you also help them to know when to rest and recuperate with this rest, retreat, be held. You help them to know that it's okay to ask for help, and that there are people around them that love them and care for them and will be there for them. Maybe you're one of the only people that some of these friends or colleagues or neighbors have ever had approach them that way. Maybe they've always had conditional relationships, and you're like showing them that no, they can be vulnerable with someone, and that someone will actually help them through their problems. I think you give a lot of tools as well. So there is a good chance that many of you are either like coaches, counselors, you're nurses, doctors, maybe you're trainers, you're like providing like tools and resources. So maybe it's a situation where you went through some of these same obstacles that these other people are facing, and you're literally passing on maybe the workbooks that you worked through, or you're giving them recommendations on like podcasts they might want to listen to. It feels like you're very actively giving them something, but you're also giving them permission to not want to hustle all the time. I think that you have a good work-life balance, or that's something that you've been working on. You know that it's important to replenish yourself, fill your own cup, to really like focus on the little simple pleasures in life and find things throughout your day that help you to embody this energy of gratitude. So you may have been a person in the past that was constantly charging forward. You had a plan, there was a checklist, you wanted to cross everything off of the list, that you were very goal oriented. But you burned yourself out, or you're maybe working with other people and you see them burning themselves out, and you are helping them to work through that energy. And one of the ways that you do it is by pointing out the miracles that are happening in their life. What are you grateful for? What do you enjoy on a daily basis? And I think you practice what you preach. Like I keep seeing this like beautiful teacup and tea in my mind. So maybe some of you, and now I'm seeing a gray long-haired cat. It's very fuzzy. So maybe some of you are diehard tea lovers, so you make sure that you invest a little bit more so that you have special tea in the cupboard so that you can indulge. So, like you have that perfect cup of tea. It's just something simple. Maybe you make sure that you have a nice teacup to drink out of. Or maybe you make sure that you are spending extra quality time with your cat or your other pets. You're helping yourself to like slow down. And animals are such great teachers when it comes to this. So this vision that I just saw might be indicating to me that you learn how to pace yourself from your animals, because honestly, they really know where it's at. And they really do also understand how to, find gratitude for like the simple things. Like my dogs go crazy over the empty toilet paper roll. Like they will literally like get so excited when they go into the bathroom and they notice that the toilet paper is like almost at the end of the roll, because they love throwing it up into the air, right? They have all of these toys that I have bought them, that other people have gifted them, that were expensive. Favorite toy is the freaking empty toilet paper roll. So maybe you help people to see that same fun and life in their immediate life. Maybe you're working with people that don't have a lot, and they are constantly reminding themselves that they don't have what other people have. Maybe that's material things, maybe that's education, maybe that's something else. But they're constantly focusing on what they don't have, and you come into their life and you help show them that they have so much to be grateful for, and that maybe they have blessings that other people might be envious of. Things that come so second nature to them that they don't even see them as blessings, right? They don't see the miracle because they're so used to it. It's around them every day. And you point it out. You have clarity. You have like a crystal ball where you're able to point out. And I think like after meeting someone for a really short amount of time, you're really able to highlight and know exactly what someone is skilled at. Like if you worked in HR, you were probably very, very skilled. This is strong energy of someone who's like good at highlighting people's skills and aptitudes, being a great leader. Like maybe if you were in a management role, you would be really, really good. But with this crystal ball clarity card, I also feel like you also have sort of an intuition about what these people will be able to achieve in the future. You're able to sort of tap into their deepest desires and dreams, maybe things that they've never told other people, and you verbalize that to them, and it gives them so much hope. And I think that you really show them that being different and unique can be such a blessing. With this resistance card, I feel like many of the people that are learning from you are sort of like birds of paradise. They're all unique and different, and maybe like they're quite loud, right? Like, and I mean that in terms of vibrancy. They really stand out. And wherever they have been in the past, they've been sort of hitting this resistance like this bull. And on this card, it always makes me really notice the contrast between the parrot and the bull being so grounded and all gray, and then the vibrancy of these birds. Maybe they've had a lot of resistance in their life and people pushing them to sort of conform, and you're like, wait, no, you don't have to conform. I mean, there's nothing wrong if others want to live their life that way, but you can fly. Maybe you don't have the strength and physical power of, say, a bull, but you are a bird of paradise. You have different gifts, and you highlight that to them, and they feel seen, maybe for the first time ever. They feel like you're a real partner, an advocate. So maybe some of you literally are doing advocacy work, like you're representing people that don't have a voice. And you're an extremely generous person, even though I think that you have had reason to not be generous. You may have had times in your life where you had to go without, right? You are an example or a role model to these people because you were part of the same struggle. You were part of the same community. And you have elevated yourself, or you are, from their perspective, they feel like you're at a level that they couldn't reach. And your generosity, and I also feel like you're quite humble, and that is really shocking to these people, and it gives them so much hope, and like you really illuminate things, like you light up their life. It's like they would follow you anywhere, you know? Like I really feel like you are a person that would be like a benevolent leader is what I am getting. That you have their best interest at heart, and it hasn't always been that way for the people that you are teaching. You know, it has not always been the case where they've been able to trust the people that have come forward and said, hey, I'll help you. But you truly have like love in your heart. You're extremely compassionate, and like you have like these bolts of inspiration too that I think get these other people excited, like the lightning on this crystal ball. Like something will come through to you, and it's just like this fireworks going off, and you're like, wow, let's go in this direction. It's really making me think of this wizard and this torch of time that they're holding. It's like, you know, the way out of the darkness. And you know, there's magic, I think, that also happens around you, and people just want to be part of that. And you could very well be a person that later on down the road, people will come back and say, you know, you had such a major impact on me. Thank you so much. And you didn't even realize that you had said or done anything. It just was such a pivotal moment for them, and it for you, you felt like you were doing what any good person should do. But you know, honestly, not everyone lives from that place, right? People are struggling with different things, and it looks like you're really like, you are walking the walk, right? You like I said before, you practice what you preach. This is so beautiful. I absolutely love this. So let's find out what you are teaching yourself through the process of teaching these other people. What are pile number 2 teaching themselves as they teach others? What is pile number 2 teaching themselves as they teach others? Okay. All right, let's see. Okay, so to start off, you got intuition and manifestation, planning and action, and the sacred temple. Wow, yes, you are definitely learning a lot about how skilled you are at, first of all, reading people, right? This strong intuition coming forward. Like I was saying before, you are able to see what really drives someone, like what they would be good at, where to place them, how to like approach the future so that it's a positive outcome for yourself as well as them. You are really skilled at manifesting, and it might not have always been the case, but there are certain things, certain skills that you've learned. Maybe it has something to do with this resting and recuperating, knowing when to go with the flow of the energy. When you're hitting a brick wall, that resistance, you pause, you stop, you relax, you recuperate. Then when the energy starts building and you get that clarity again, you know when to charge forward. And that's an amazing lesson to be sharing with other people. So helpful. And I think that it was coming sort of second nature to you, because I think it was sort of trial and error that you learned how to do that in your own life and how to manifest, create the opportunities that you have or you will create in your life. And you are now, it's sort of like it was happening, and the changes were taking place in your life before your brain had really caught up to like really have a clear picture of what you were doing. You didn't get the insight into how far you had come or how skilled you are until you started to see the effects that your guidance had had on other people's lives, which is so beautiful. Planning and action. So you may have really learned how to have like a set schedule and how to plan and take action on your goals and dreams. But I also get this sense, like I said before, that you're not just focusing on the career. You're taking action and you are planning your rest. You're making sure that you take breaks throughout the day and you don't just like work all the way through lunch. You make sure that you stop, you have lunch, you get away from your office or your desk or whatever your routine is. You break that up, that you build into your week things that bring you joy, things that help you feel balanced and rejuvenated. That's what the sacred temple is talking about. That's your body. And also, you might have a practice where you also connect with spirit, right? There's times when maybe you lie in the bath or you do meditation, or you're doing yoga, or you're doing something else like that helps you to just get into the flow. Maybe you paint, maybe you play an instrument. All of those kinds of times when you're like out of your worrying thoughts can really help you to flow into this sacred temple energy. That is so beautiful. And I think that because it's building and you're getting good results, you are learning to perfect that skill even more. You got the blue flame, spontaneous awakening, activation, integration time. So you may have had your own spiritual awakenings or epiphanies or insights, or major shifts were taking place. Things came through to you, like the clarity card was talking about before, that you weren't expecting, and you've learned how to take action on those things when they come through. So when you have a great idea, you are prepared and you are ready to just run with it, and you've been able to help teach other people that. Now, if you're not actively teaching them, you are teaching them because they're watching you. You're leading by example, and you're definitely having a major impact on people. It could also be a situation where you're taking action on your goals, and whatever it is that you're creating is having a major impact on these people, and then they're learning that way, right? So then you got weight of the world, boundaries, let it go. It's not yours to carry. Absolutely. With the deep replenishment card, you have learned, or you're in the process of learning, that having boundaries is not a selfish act, that you have to make sure that you are healed and healthy, and you've been able to get enough rest, and you've been able to eat the foods that you need to feel like you're at your best, right? I've said this before, but studies show that if people are overworked, their brain function is not at its best, and we can end up actually laboring a lot longer on a problem just because we haven't allowed ourselves to rest, recuperate, rejuvenate. All of that is really important. So you have come to a place where you are coming to a place. You may still be in the process of learning these lessons, where you're going to really embody that and be comfortable with it. Then you've got longing for home, homesick for the stars. That's really interesting. So for some of you, I mean, this could be talking about you being a star seed and recognizing that you are different. The way that you think about things is different. If the idea or the concept of star seeds resonates with you, that might be something that you identify with. But I mean, you don't have to know anything about star seeds or understand that or believe in that at all for this to be a representation of you. Basically, what this card is getting at is that you may have had an energy in the past where you didn't feel at home, where you didn't feel possibly at home in your actual home or in your community or maybe in your own skin. And you worked through that. You nurtured self so that you always felt at home because you always felt comfortable and safe with self. You weren't judging yourself anymore. Portal, doors are opening. You decide. Rewards, wild card. Wow. So once again, back to that blue flame energy and the clarity card and the 9 of cups. It looks like you're really able to see when opportunities are opening up to you and through your action, right? It's a combination of all of like, you're learning about taking planning and action on the ideas that are coming through to you through your intuition and helping you to there's something like in my eye. You're feeling comfortable with executing your boundaries, and then that's also helping you to feel more comfortable in your own skin, and then that's bringing about new opportunities and new portals are opening up for you, and you're learning about your own strength as a result of that. Loosen your grip, coping mechanisms, density, addiction, let God in. You might have been helping people to overcome their own addictive tendencies. That might be something like drugs, alcohol, shopping, gambling, food addictions, complicated relationships with food, but it could also be addictions to like self-limiting beliefs or feeling like imposter syndrome, addictions to like codependency. There's a lot of different ways that this could have played out in your life. This could have been you leaning into working too much and not listening to your intuition enough and trying to push yourself harder than you knew that you could really reasonably go so that you would be in control. And then you realize, well, you know, I really don't have any control, right? All I can do is hope for the best, put my heart and soul into the things that I want, be understanding of when things don't work out my way, be courageous enough to face the problems that head towards me, and then find gratitude for every blessing that's already happening in my life. And that should bring me to a place where I'm no longer feeling homesick, where I feel really like content and grounded because I am my own sacred temple, which is so beautiful. I love this so much. So I want to get some final cards for you guys. I just want to know if your guides have any advice for you on things that you can do to really step into your role as teacher even more. What can pile number 2 do to step into their role as teacher even more? What advice do you have for pile number 2? Okay. Okay, so first of all, you got some really interesting cards here. You have the Tower, but then you also have the Fool, and you also have the 10 of Cups, the Emperor, King of Wands, Page of Pentacles, the Strength card, King of Pentacles, and the Justice card. So what I feel like is coming out is that you are being encouraged by your guides to recognize that there is duality in life. Like I was saying a moment ago, there are positives and negatives that take place in our life. There are times when we are really suffering and we are possibly leaning into some of the addictive behaviors that were mentioned in one of these cards, in the Loosen Your Grip card. Maybe we are dealing with a lot of stress, conflict with others, with the Resistance card, or mental health issues, or the Nightmares of Time card. and that is an inevitable part of life. And sometimes we can fight against the energies of change, like the tower, when it comes into our lives, or when it's looming, you can feel it in the air that some major shift is going to take place. We can feel so much stress and anxiety, and the tower gets such a bad rap in tarot. Most people don't like to see the tower come out, because if you've had a negative tower experience, it can be very traumatic. But the tower has two sides as well. The tower can also be a beautiful surprise that comes into your life that changes your life for the better. And I feel like your guides are saying, remember that. That remember, even if there is some pain, some things that have to be removed, remember to always, have that energy and exuberance for life, where you're going to head towards your problems with confidence, and you're going to face whatever comes at you, because it's this hard energy that's going to help you to become this strong leader, the emperor. That's how you get, this ability to lead others. It's by having experience and exposure to the battle, right? So that's what I feel like your guides are saying to you, that you have the potential to have so much greatness and so much abundance, so much fulfillment, like the 10 of Cups, or material fulfillment, like the King of Pentacles, public recognition, like the King of Wands. But you have to start at step one, right? And step one is the Fool. Allowing your intuition to guide you forward, possibly taking action before it makes sense. And, depending on what the situation is, it will require finesse, is what they want me to say. So it'll require different skills, and you may have to be gentle with these shifts and changes. But the power of the Fool is that they're surrendering to spirit, that they're allowing their intuition to lead them the same way that the dog that is always accompanying the Fool allows their intuition to guide them away from danger, right? They listen to their sixth sense. It helps them to survive. And you have that strength because you are able to master and control that aspect of yourself. You are able to think critically about what's going on. So you can lean into your emotions, you can listen to your intuition, and you can use your logic mind to analyze all of it and then take the next step forward. And then also you have the ability to control your own emotions and really manage your feelings when the tower falls. It can be hard, and we can really want to indulge ourselves in possibly, chastising ourselves for making a decision that we don't think was the best outcome, or maybe we're punishing ourselves for things in the past. But ultimately, you're just at the early steps, right? The Page of Pentacles is just talking about having that idea. It has to start somewhere, but you're going to end up with the King of Pentacles. So maybe this role as teacher is something new that you're just stepping into. Maybe you have been working through your own issues, or your own obstacles is what I want to say. And you don't feel like you're far enough out of the storm to really be helpful to others. But I feel like your guides are saying that you need to look at things from a different perspective, and that isn't necessarily true. That you will continue to grow and learn alongside the people that you're guiding and helping. There'll be lessons and miracles that they bring into your life, insights and epiphanies that they bring into your life that you couldn't have had without them being involved. But ultimately, right now you might not be able to see it, but you're going to become this master in the physical. If there's limitations on, your abundance, and you don't have all of the things that you wish you could have, that's coming through. Material wealth, stability, as well as emotional stability. And then you're going to be the Emperor, which is so beautiful. I hope you guys enjoyed this reading. I would love to know. Please comment below and let me know what your thoughts were. If you don't feel like commenting, you could like or you could share the reading. That would be a big help to me. Definitely check out Mistress of Divination's half of the reading. And if any of you guys are interested in working with me one-on-one, you can go to my website, odessamal.com. All of my services and booking information are available there. I do tarot card readings, spiritual coaching, Reiki. I channel messages from your spirit guides, and I also do past life readings. So I hope that you have a wonderful day, and I look forward to seeing you in the next reading. Take care. Hi, pile number 3, welcome back. So you picked the acorn and the oak leaf charm. And just in case you missed the intro, this is a special collaboration with the Mistress of Divination. I'm going to be looking at what you are teaching others as well as teaching self. And she's going to be looking at what you are learning from others as well as self. So these first cards are going to fill me in on what you're teaching others, and then I'll pull more cards to find out what you're teaching yourself. So your first card is Grouse. Express yourself through rhythm and movement by drumming and dancing. Then you got Tiger. You're being called upon to provide leadership, so trust that you're capable of doing so. The ever-unfolding rose cracked open. It's happening for you, not to you. Snapdragon, deception and presumption. Restlessness, and there's a 1 on that card. Oh, you got an extra card. Friendship, and there's number 4 on that card. Riches, number 10. Oh my God, coins, abundance. Wow. King of Swords and freedom. Follow your heart and nurture your soul with love and freedom to grow. Beautiful. I love this. Okay, so one of the things that you are teaching others is obviously how to express themselves. You might like to play an instrument. Maybe you're a drummer. Maybe you like to dance, like this particular card was talking about. But this could be anything that helps you to sort of like get into your own natural rhythm, even if it's not literally dance or music. You walk to the beat of your own drum is what's coming forward. You like to do things your own way, and it can be sort of unconventional at times. You might be somebody who doesn't like to follow a recipe, right? Or you don't like to look at the instructions when you're putting together IKEA furniture, for example. You just like to wing it and see what happens. It's more exciting that way. Now, some people may feel very nervous, walking through life or, indulging themselves in that energy at any point. And you help them to embrace that. It's kind of like, coloring outside of the lines, and not everything has to be so rigid. And that is really difficult sometimes for people to embrace because there are a lot of rules and regulations that are around us. And we're under a lot of pressure, and you just sort of embody this freedom, like this wildflower energy that helps you to be authentic. And I think that it was a hard, fought battle for you. I don't think that you always embrace that aspect of yourself, but I do feel like you might have some Gemini energy inside you. I definitely feel that. Now this also has Aries on here, so you may also be Aries. That makes sense. Aquarius, you might also have Aquarius in your chart. But you get sort of these bolts of inspiration that you just want to take action on, and you allow your intuition to guide you forward. You kind of go where the wind blows you, And there probably has been times in the past where either things didn't work out the way that you thought they would, or it was difficult and painful doing that. Like maybe there are certain things that were lost out on, or maybe that you had that call inside you, but you were never able to actually take those steps, and then all of a sudden, you started making different decisions in your life, and it allowed you to express that in a more authentic way, and that's rubbing off on other people. Like you're being a leader to others. And the tiger I always associate with the intuition and balancing out our divine feminine and divine masculine, because tigers are one of the few cats that are really, really good swimmers. They can even hunt in water, and water is connected to the divine feminine and the intuition. And then the stripes always makes me think of like the two sides of our own nature. So it's either divine feminine or divine masculine, or maybe it's the shadow self and the side of ourselves that we show the world. But you've balanced that out, and you are now allowing your intuition to guide you, and you are in a leadership role, or at least you're somebody that people trust. Like they trust your instincts. So maybe it's a situation where your career really like requires you to have really keen instincts, like people that invest is coming forward, where like, yes, of course, they look at the comparables, they're looking at what's going on in the market, but it's also partially going on gut. And you may have nothing to do with the stock market at all, but it's just that when you take action on your instincts, typically it works out in your favor. Now, I think partially it's because you have a really keen sense for BS. This is coming forward with this deception and presumption card. I think you can sort of sniff out when things are not on the up and up, and you know when to get out of a situation. You may not have always, but you definitely seem to be a guide to others about what to avoid, where they need to be more mindful, or possibly even more clear about what their ideas are. Be precise with their communication, like the King of Swords. Maybe use more logic or analytical thinking, because when you really lean into that wildflower free energy, there can be a tendency to sometimes like overindulge in that. And it's like you've found that balance, and you're really able to like crack the whip when necessary. So maybe you're like work hard, play hard kind of energy. And I get the sense that for some of you, you've really like had to go without at times. There's been times when you were at rock bottom and you lost a lot, like the cracked open card is talking about. And you really learn to appreciate what you have now. And maybe that's another reason why you like play hard, because maybe you didn't always have the luxuries you have now, or you didn't have the friends that you have, or the opportunities, whatever it is. It doesn't have to have anything to do with money at this point, but you are enjoying the things that you have worked so hard to achieve in your life. And you're also understanding that everything that's shifting, like every failure that you had actually helped you to perfect what you were doing. So if you're in business and you've had multiple businesses that you've tried to launch and they just haven't, worked out for you, maybe you've had to close the business, maybe you've had to like file for bankruptcy, maybe you've had to pivot or sell or whatever it was. You learned something valuable from every single one of those endeavors. You learned how to plan and execute is what is coming forward. You learned how to have that critical thinking. You learned how to recognize when someone is deceptive and doesn't have your best interest at heart. You learned how to allow your free nature to guide you towards the abundant doorways and the right people with the friendship card. And you're guiding people towards this as well. Maybe you've really befriended some people that really needed a friend, really needed a guide. Maybe you're mentoring people and helping them to understand not only where their, true passions or their life purpose is, number one, talking about that, but also how to lay the foundation so they have a good launching point, number 4 on this card. I could see you being somebody who is coming in freelance and helping people to work through issues when they're launching their business, or you are a coach of some kind. I could definitely see that. I think that you are also able to pull to the front the things that are maybe in the shadows, the things that might go wrong, the sort of the looming tower, or you see the cracks in the foundation. And you're able to lean into your loving, compassionate energy and your creative energy to express that and share that with others without them feeling judged or without them feeling like you're being critical of them. And ultimately, I do feel like a lot of this energy has to do with your work, because you did get 2 cards that are talking about money and abundance, right? The coins, abundance, the riches card, number 10. But there is Saturn on this card, so you've had to really work hard to gain the knowledge that you have now. And you really are a strong guide. You help people through beginnings and endings. There's Alpha and Omega on this card, the beginning and the end of the Greek alphabet. And the cracked open, which, like I said, reminds me of the tower. Going with the flow, surrendering to the energy that is around you. And maybe you're a person that also invests in other people. Maybe it's a situation where people gave you a break and mentored and guided you, and now you're at a place where you're able to give back to others. And I don't necessarily mean it's money. For some of you it might be, but it might also be tools, resources. You may be giving them insight into their own potential. You may be just highlighting and pro bono, just helping them to figure out where there are blind spots and what they're trying to work towards. I just keep getting the energy that you're quite invaluable to other people, and specifically invaluable to what they're trying to create in the physical world. Maybe you know about how to network and you're sharing that insight, or you know about how to navigate applying for a government grant or something like that, and you pass on that knowledge. There's something coming forward about citizenship, getting green cards, or that maybe you help other people that are trying to navigate the immigration process, and you have gone through it yourself with either in your own life or maybe a spouse, and you help others to sort of navigate through that, the murky waters. If it's not that, it's something like that. I just feel like you bring a lot that's in the dark to the light, things that would have caused these people to sort of stumble and fall, and ultimately it brings you abundance, possibly friendship, it brings you money, it gives you leadership roles, it helps you to be creative, and it also helps these other people with those same blessings, which is so beautiful. It's give a man a fish, he eats for a day. Teach a man to fish, he eats for a lifetime. That's the energy that you have. You're teaching people to fish, and that is amazing. I absolutely love that. So let's find out what you are teaching yourself through this process. What is pile number 3 teaching themselves as they teach others? What is, woo. Okay. Oh, nice. Yes, you got the family, friends, and guides card. You are definitely guiding people that are family. You're guiding friends. You are helping them to navigate rough waters, and maybe you're trying to give them the confidence to listen to their own intuition, to surrender to the flow, like that. There'll be times when things are not, moving forward at the same pace, and you just have to be patient in those times and start working on something else, and like let go of the control. You got the let go card. I think it's helping you to see the opportunities that are around you as well. Like, as you help navigate other people through the doorways and you're teaching them how to locate those doorways, you're seeing just how skilled you are. You're seeing how many doorways are open to you. It helps you to have even more confidence in the energy that you're already embodying, surrendering and leaning into the flow of life. And it's possible that you've made some really valuable partners or friendships with people that ultimately are going to end up being very fruitful, whether that's, on a monetary level or whether that's just emotionally. They're both valuable. And you're learning to have gratitude for the things that are already going well for you, the blessings that are all around you. I love that. I feel like you are multiplying them. It's like you see one opportunity, you're able to go through this door, and all of a sudden you're learning how to change that one opportunity into 5 opportunities. And it has a lot to do with the fact that I think you share a lot. Like, maybe like you're literally sharing some of the opportunities. It might be a situation where you have a lot of work that's coming through to you, and you partner with another company, like possibly a competitor, maybe short term, maybe long term, so that you can get through the amount of work that you need to get through. You don't lose out on that client. And they take away some of the blessings. You build a stronger relationship with them as well. I don't know. Let's see. Yes, you just got the portal card. Doors are opening. You decide. Rewards wild card. Yeah, you're definitely seeing the doorways that are opening up to you. And I definitely get the sense that you're taking others with you, that you're not necessarily approaching everything as people are competition. You're thinking about things in a different way. Like, there's enough for all of us. If I scratch your back, you'll scratch mine, kind of energy. But not in something where it's like nepotism and it's going to end up being toxic. It's like true collaboration. Building a community is what's coming forward. So what else is pile number 3? What are they teaching themselves as they teach others? You got perspective. None of this matters. Zoom out. Common ground. Love it. Yeah, you're gaining perspective on what the bigger picture is. Maybe you were thinking like, oh, well, we're both in the same field, or we're, working towards the same objective. What if we just partnered together and we worked on it together? We were bringing different things to the table. A little bit about trusting people too, like you've honed your radar to be able to figure out who is a positive influence and who's a negative influence in your circle. And so now you're allowing yourself to lean into the positive relationships and not block yourself off from that. You're leaning into it more and more and more. And it's bringing you towards even more opportunities. That might very well be that one opportunity that then blossoms into 5. Deep cellular healing, Arcturus energy, physical and emotional healing. So you are doing something either mentally that's helping to heal your physical body, or you're doing something physically that's helping to heal your mental body. But you're finding balance in your life. So it might be a situation where you've had issues with like tension or stress, headaches, migraines, and you take active steps to reduce your stress and indulge in the things that you love and spending time with friends and family. And by reducing your stress, you notice that the headaches are not coming as often, or you are actively working out and eating differently. You're like cutting foods out of your diet that you're allergic to. There are so many people that continue to eat the foods that they're allergic to because it's hard making those changes. And it seems to me like whatever it is, whether it's like a physical allergy or whether that is like an emotional allergy, you're pinpointing what it is that is not working for you, that's toxic to your life, and you're pivoting away from it. But it feels like you are surrendering. You're not trying to force it out of your life. You're just allowing it to slip out of your life or shift out of your life or possibly pivot and transition within your life. You got, I remember, soul plan, the fated life versus the destiny life. I love this. So, for those of you who aren't aware of like what the difference is, so your destiny is the life that is meant to be yours, that's your most high vibrational pathway that you could achieve if you decide to tackle all of the lessons and you seek love and you say yes to the opportunities that come towards you, and you really like maintain that high vibration at all times. It's difficult to consistently be walking towards your destined life. Then there's the fated life, and the fated life is the situations that will unfold in our life based on the decisions that we're making, because we have free will. So you have major pivotal points that are destiny. You can't change them. Like there's certain relationships you'll have to go through because you're going to learn a valuable lesson, or there's certain situations or experiences that you're going to have no matter what, because they're destiny. But there's lots of different situations that are in between those major points that you have free will over. And it all depends on what decisions you make. Like, what do you want this journey to look like? That is the fated life, because it's all based on, what you have put into action. So it sounds like through this experience, you're recognizing, wow, I have control to manifest what I want. You're able to make decisions and take proactive steps towards the outcomes that you want, and you have the control over your own emotions to be able to redirect towards positive thinking and towards self-acceptance and becoming your own cheerleader. And that is what's going to give you the very best shot at getting into alignment with that highest vibrational path, the destined life. And you're going to have a combination of both, right? We all will have a combination of both. It's like really difficult to like stay really high vibe all the way along. And there's nothing wrong with that, right? It keeps things interesting. And you are getting that. You're understanding, going back to this, you express yourself through rhythm and like you understanding the rhythm of life. That is so cool how that just went full circle. So now I'd like to get you guys some advice on what your guides would like to share with you so that you can master this art of teaching and really, embrace this abundance that's your destiny. How can pile number 3 step into their role as teacher? What advice do you have for them? Okay, let's this has a lot to do with really being able to overcome the hardships of life and not allow that to sort of like derail you, because we've got the Five of Cups, which is talking about like a lack mindset. You are looking at the things that didn't work out for you versus the things that did. Then you got the Five of Swords, which is talking about petty battles, like continuing to entertain conversations or arguments with other people, even though it's not reaching a conclusion that's beneficial to the two of you. It's just like fighting for the sake of fighting. Then you got the Five of Wands, which is also talking about arguing and battling within a group of people. Like everyone wants to be the leader. Everyone wants their opinion to be heard. Like a sparring match is what's coming forward. And you are going to, through this process of learning, you're basically learning about self by teaching to others. It's like really interesting. I love that. Like it's very symbiotic. Like you are helping teach what you've learned to other people. And through the process of them learning from you, they mirror or they reflect what they've learned back to you, and it comes back to you in a slightly different way. And then you learn something in addition to what you already taught them, which is really amazing. Sometimes I have this kind of experience when I go back and I watch my own readings, right? Just to make sure that everything is uploaded and it's working properly. And I'll listen to parts of the reading and I won't even remember saying those things. And I actually get insight from the things that I've said in the reading, right? Like that's the kind of thing, like you are delivering the message, but you're also the student at the same time. The Page of Cups is talking about that, like messaging coming through to you through your intuition or through other people, coming out of unexpected places, and it giving you so much insight, giving you a brand new beginning that's going to help you to have a strong foundation. The Ace of Wands and then the Four of Wands. And then through that, it brings you to a place where you are this charismatic leader, the Queen of Wands, followed by the Queen of Pentacles. Once again, a third card talking about financial abundance. Like if this is resonating for you in terms of your career, you are going to be very successful. Regardless of how this plays out in your life, there is an abundance of blessings that is coming forward towards you. Whatever your idea of fulfillment in the physical world is, that is definitely in the cards for you. And a lot of friendships, right? You just got the Three of Cups. You got the family and friends card, and you got the friendships card. This is so beautiful. It's like your soul family, community coming in, possibly out of the most unexpected place. You might not see this coming, and it might be like something that initially you're a little apprehensive of, just because I think like you have been burned in the past. And all of this is going to slowly help you get into that state of energy I mentioned before, where you're like, you have the perspective, you completely know it. But right now, what you can do is just start moving away from the lower vibrational energy, the petty battles, the arguments for no reason, or just that negative energy. Not necessarily like you're going to walk away from all those people or anything. You're stepping away from that energy, taking a break. You're resting and recuperating. You are gonna like go with the flow, do whatever you need to do to find the great gratitude in your life and start listening to your intuition. And there's some brand new idea that's going to come through to you that's going to be sort of like a tipping point to having the foundation and then everything else coming into focus for you. This might be an idea that you're going to be able to collaborate with other people, right? It's within your community and you're going to be the leader, possibly even the person that is sort of leading the charge in terms of getting the finances together. but it's going to benefit more than just you. I love this. I hope you guys enjoyed this reading. I would love to know. Please comment below and let me know what you thought of the reading and how it relates back to you. And maybe you could like or share the reading as well. That would be pretty amazing. And don't forget to check out Mistress of Divination's reading as well. And if any of you guys are interested in working with me one-on-one, you can go to my website, odessamal.com. All of my services and booking information are available there. I do tarot card readings, spiritual coaching, Reiki, I do past life readings, and I can channel messages from your spirit guides. So I hope that you have a wonderful day, and I look forward to seeing you in the next reading. Take care.